Hello, I'm Zach, and I'm rated a 7 UTR. In this practice, my friend Aaron, who is rated a high 9 UTR, and myself play 2 full sets. It gets pretty crazy. Watching this back, I learned a lot about mentality and how the little things, like return percentage, have a big impact on match outcomes. Without spoiling too much, if you take away one thing from this video, remember this. While on your journey to get better, give yourself some grace. Welcome to the long game. I was coming into this practice feeling pretty confident, and I was like, I can do this. I was coming in and I really felt good. I was feeling really good, especially about my serve. Although my elbow was still having some issues. I mean, it would also happen in my last video in the USTA tournament that I played. My return plan against Aaron, because he's a great server, was to try to stay back and just give myself time to react. And just hope his spot placement wasn't super on that day. Second serve let ace was unfortunate. We are playing college rules in that aspect just so Aaron can practice. And I'm really honestly proud of how consistent my return was at the beginning of this practice match. I go up early, which is awesome and gives me a boost of confidence, like confirming my confidence was kind of legit. I didn't know this at the time, but Aaron goes up to the camera and says,
"Easy break, come on. Watch this back there."
And yeah, in my service game, just had too many double faults.
Zach, why are you letting me beat you? Come on, man. I want to make it entertaining.
I didn't feel tight, but there was definitely some little tensions I remember feeling on the serve finish. Like the motion felt nice and fluid, but I think I tensed my wrist a little bit toward contact, which I mean does have an effect. I was playing some great points, but Aaron was playing just a little bit better. I was getting in my head a little bit about all my shots and the double faulting, but I shouldn't have been sad. I was playing well, and a few balls here or there you're gonna miss. It's gonna happen, and sometimes your opponent is gonna play better than you. I did have a lot of stress going on around me at the time, and I think maybe that was coming into. I didn't let that go before I wasn't fully just present on the court. On my serve, he was returning well, and I just wasn't expecting it to come back like it did. And he was just hitting some great returns. I do think, looking at this, I think that return pressure was causing me to tighten up just enough where I was, missing. Aaron was hitting his spots really well, which is unfortunate, and that kind of, put a little wrench into my plans. But when he didn't hit his spots well, I was able to hit some decent returns, so my plan was helping. When he was starting to hit his spots pretty consistently, I tried to stand closer, but then he'd go body and I wouldn't have enough time, and so I really was struggling. I didn't know what to do, and that was causing me to have a little bit of panic. In retrospect, I should have just picked one that I thought he was more shaky on, make him hit those spots better. But I think mixing it up was okay. It caused some alarm bells to go off that really were unnecessary. We had some really good points on serve, but Aaron was able to dictate most of the points most of the time, and the pressure, I think there was a little bit of pressure I was feeling, even though I was in denial at the time, but it was causing me to double fault. I went down low 40 on one of my service games, brought it back to 30-40, and I remember I was gaining confidence. And then I double faulted the game, and that was just like another just slam to the gut. It was just too many double faults, and Aaron's good returning was getting to my head. Not a lot, but enough to cause just a little bit of doubt and a little bit of tension, a little bit of micro tensions. And that's just the thing, that little bit of pressure he was putting me on my serve, just by making those returns really well and dictating the points that he was getting, and caused me to think I needed to do more than I probably really had to go for. I did end up putting some return pressure on him as well, but because he was serving so well, even though I was making quite a few returns, I felt pressure to make all those points count because I didn't feel like they were happening as often. At least that's what it felt like in the moment. Again, looking back, I wasn't playing bad and I was making a lot of returns, but it felt like in the moment that I had to win every point that I made on his serve. I really remember not feeling great about how I played, but watching it back, I was just really in my head, which caused me to play tighter on those important rallies. A turning point was when I double faulted and then I hit a ball to the wall. Now, I have never done anything like this before. I don't ever show that I get mad. I don't really ever show emotion much. Maybe I'll try to smile on a double fault sometimes just to kind of throw my opponent off, or on my double fault, not on theirs. If I double fault, I try to keep it positive. But I don't ever show anger, and I've never hit a ball out of anger, and so this was just kind of alarm bells going off that something else was kind of going on. And I do remember I was having some stress and stuff outside of tennis, and I kind of allowed that stress to kind of seep in, let my disappointment in my tennis be like the cherry on top and the bubbling over of all that stress from just life. There's no excuse for it still. And I cannot believe I did that. I still am in disbelief. Aaron on the changeover, since this is just a practice session, we want to get the best out of it. He thinks I'm hitting my second serve harder, and I think he was partially right, but I think it appeared to look like I was hitting it harder just because I wasn't getting enough spin on it, and I was hitting it flatter.
I got you, camera. Hello.
Aaron saves the camera. Thank goodness for that. And then a few points later, his hat flies off. It's indoors. We are inside. There is no wind. Do not ask me how that happened. I don't know. I really don't. Aaron was serving well again, and I was taking it as a personal fault when there was no reason to. And I was probably just stressed out from other things going on in my life. I was able to play some good points, but I never gave myself any credit. And the bad outweighed the good in my mind. And even though I tried to stay positive, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in myself. I will say I really loved my haircut in this practice. As a side note, just watching it back, that was one of the first things I kind of noticed right away. Yeah, I really wish I could have that right now. Last haircut didn't go so well. Yeah, Aaron almost used his cannon serve to take out the camera that he saved, but camera's still living, so we're good. I was actually playing well, which I keep saying that, but in the moment, I felt like I was playing terribly. And Aaron, he was just putting a lot of heat on his shots, and I wasn't able to handle it. And he was hitting well. His forehand, almost came into the camera. I mean, I don't know. He saved it. I don't know why he's trying to kill it. No, he wasn't, but it's kind of just funny. And man, I really do like my haircut. Yeah, I'm gonna say just one more time. I genuinely remember this practice as being horrible, and then I played god awful. When looking back, it was solid, and Aaron was just playing out of his mind. And I think I just need to keep practicing against people like that, like him, and get used to it and the pressure, and just be able to deal with if I'm stressed outside of tennis, to kind of be able to let that go for the tennis session. I think I was just tired. Yeah, just want to show you a little bit of Aaron's goofy face. He did this a few times. It's funny. The lights turn off. This is just because we know the people that work there, and then they could have closed early, but we signed up for some late time, so we're literally the last people playing on the courts. And it's funny, Aaron asked me after doing like another goofy face if I'm looking back through the footage. It's like, yes, I'm going to.
You look back through this footage by chance? What? You look back through the footage? Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, his practice generally was just not in a good headspace and just needed to stay loose, and realized that my anger and disappointment wasn't because I was playing bad, but it was because I was just overtired. And I was focusing on how Aaron was playing, and he was playing really good, and my bad shots, which is not a very good way to view myself, because I'm not taking in any positives about what I'm doing. To be honest, when I was thinking about all these frustrations, I was frustrated that I wasn't playing my best, but I also felt like I wasn't giving Aaron a good practice. And here's another Aaron goofy face. And looking back, I was making returns, I was making some nice serves, and I was making some good balls. I really was just overtired and taking this personally. It was a good practice set, even though the score looks rough. Aaron knew that, and he did keep telling me that, and I didn't believe him in that moment. And it's just a reminder that some days may feel terrible, but more often than not, it's almost never as bad as you think. And I did start to be able to kind of let go a little bit and loosen up. And Aaron says this to the camera.
I'm really annoyed right now because your chud self decided to win a game against me, and you're stupid lefty.
And he knew I was playing well, and he knew he was just playing really well, and he was just having fun. Like, we practice to get better. It's not so serious. And for some reason, I was taking everything super seriously. And yes, you want to get better and you want to improve, but I wasn't giving myself any grace at all. I was thinking every mistake was the end of the world. I needed the reminder that everybody's human and that mistakes will happen at some point. Aaron was hitting great returns and I was hanging on. And then I double faulted and just laid on the floor. At this point, I was just so mentally over my serve. Like, I was trying to fix it and trying to stay loose and trying to let it go, but I was like, today really wasn't my day. I wasn't in the right mental space, and so it is what it is. Aaron was serving well, but I always have my speed and I'll always put up a fight. But his serve was on and it was strong. I started this serve game pretty strong at the end. What frustrated me most, honestly, about this practice was knowing I could play better than I was playing, but every double fault I just took so personally. I just did not forgive myself, and I didn't understand that missing does happen, and one miss doesn't mean that you need to change everything or that everything is bad. It's not bad if you miss. It's annoying for sure, and it's unfortunate, but it doesn't make you any worse because you missed one shot. The 2 sets, it was good practice. Yeah, this video is honestly, it's a reminder to give yourself some grace and forgiveness when you miss. And just remember that, we play tennis because it's fun and we love the feeling of getting better. It is unbeatable. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.